you doing? Thanks for clicking on to the Monday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. It is the 13th of August, and we certainly are now back into a much more changeable Atlantic-driven weather pattern. What is quite interesting is, of course, the waters were very, very chilly at the end of spring across a good chunk of the Atlantic, in fact, and surrounding the British Isles. I think the combination of this and the drying out of the soils allowed high pressure and heat to feed back on itself as we went through the first half of summer. But it's a bigger factor, I think, in the lag effect of the Super El Nino, the response to the atmosphere globally as we came out of that in 2016. And if you do check out the written post for today, I do look at that in a bit more detail, because many people will probably be asking, why has the summer been so warm, not just here across the UK and across Europe, but across the Northern Hemisphere? And I do think it is the response, the lag effect of the Super El Nino, combined with the cooling of the Atlantic basin. Typically, cool Atlantic AMOs tend to lead to drier summers across not just the UK but Western Europe, and warm AMOs tend to lead to wetter summers, and that, of course, has been the case in recent years. But I think it's a combination of the Super El Nino a couple of years ago, combined with the cooling of the Atlantic, has almost created a perfect setup for a very warm, dry summer, almost identical to 1976. Of course, 1976 had a much drier winter previous, and also the spring into the summertime. That was the one big difference between 76 and 2018. But in today's video, I want to have a quick scan of the CFSV2 monthlies for the upcoming couple of months ahead. Of course, we are about to transition from summer into the first month of autumn, and it looks as if the CFSV2 does have higher than normal pressure to the southwest of the British Isles, which would indicate to me, with low pressure over Iceland, high pressure to the southwest of Ireland, we maintain a bit of a kind of typical northwest to southeast contrast, variation in weather. Always cooler, wetter, breezier across the northwest, warmer, drier, and sunnier across the southeast. As we go into the month of October, we're neither here nor there. We've got high pressure firmly established to the west of the British Isles. As we go into the month of November and indeed December, a couple of interesting things to note here. We do have the potential for a weak Madoki El Nino as we go into the early portion of winter. What does that suggest? It wouldn't surprise me if that would support something along the lines of more blocking across the northwest of Europe, and indeed cooler, trophier weather underneath that across the UK, potentially France and into Spain. So we've got a trough in place firmly over the British Isles during the month of November. That would indicate a wetter than normal pattern. Then as we go into the month of December, it looks as if we do have high pressure to the north, low pressure to the south. That looks to me like a cooler than normal December overall here. But of course, it's just the first couple of comments really about the overall autumn season. Of course, a long way to go, but it wouldn't surprise me with very, very warm water surrounding the UK, and indeed across the Norwegian Sea, the Baltic Sea, and Western Mediterranean, with a kind of Icelandic low pressure pattern, that I think we could have an increasingly wet autumn season coming up. And sometimes where the wettest weather is during the autumn, that tends to be where the coldest weather wants to be in the winter following. So just a couple of thoughts this afternoon to look at. Do check out the written post for more, and I'll be back in the next couple of days with more interesting times to come as always. Hope you have a great day and stay tuned for more. Bye for now.